Hello and welcome to Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Guten Tag.
Willkommen. This week we're going to talk about life on Mars, ?
I'm still reeling from that shot of gin. Burn.
Yes, the sun is shining in the UK and Claire has decided to partake in a
And the
gin.
sun's out, the gin's out.
So yeah, life on Mars. Any initial thoughts?
I reckon there was. Definitely.
Yeah? I'd say so. I'm kind of on board with that.
Not anymore, but I reckon there was.
Well, Randy Kramer maybe will tell you different. We'll get on to it.
Well, yeah.
Hasn't NASA found ice underneath the sort of crust of Mars?
Yes, I do believe they have.
There could
Water, in fact.
Water.
there could be life on Mars, but not life as
Microbial.
Exactly.
Again.
Not life as you'd think. but
Returning
yeah.
friend of the show, Randy Kramer, was going to tell you very differently.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
I
First.
don't think it'll be flowing water though, will it, Mike? Because of how bloody
No.
cold it is, it will be ice, won't it?
We'll say thank you to some new and returning listeners, and then we'll get into the meat and bones of it. We'll cut to the ball.
Me hungry now, talking about meat and bones.
We ignore bones.
Yep.
Brexit Britain.
How about them vegans telling their next door neighbours to close their windows because they could smell the meat?
Oh, I'd
in
have
it?
punched them.
Oh, vegan
I'd
Nazis.
have chucked a sausage at them.
That's going a bit far. Right then.
Well, they were Muslims as well. That's just a hate crime then.
I'd have chucked a pork chop and a sausage.
That's just a hate crime at that point.
New and returning list.
New and returning listeners. Hounslow in the United Kingdom. Bolton in the UK. Boardman, Oregon. Madrid, Spain. Gujranwala in Pakistan.
That was a good effort.
It wasn't bad, was it? Brussels in Belgium, Porterville, Missouri, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, Stevenage in the UK, Flushing in New York, Bengaluru in India, Dublin, Ireland, welcome back to you, Ashburn, Virginia, Guadalajara, Spain, and Lowestoft in the
Lowestoft.
United...
Lowestoft.
No,
Lowestoft.
are them?
I know that's how it's pronounced.
Oh,
It is
is it?
lower stuffed.
I thought I was going.
It's not lower stuffed, it's lower stuffed.
Yeah.
Never stuff.
First we're going to do a little bit of science.
Woohoo! I like science.
So just pretend that you're back in school, back in secondary school. Mike, you might want to start...
Right, you bastards! Fuck off! Fuck off!
I'm getting
Oh,
my pea
sorry.
shooter.
I was fighting with him next to me. He's always fucking annoying me.
Oh, Mike, you want to get your hip flask out?
I'll spark up a little fag in the background and try and have a couple of slide tokes before the teacher smells it.
Yeah. So when the solar system settled into its current layout over 4 billion years ago, Mars and Earth formed the same materials and looked very similar. And they are, aren't they? Let's face it.
Hold on, right. You've just blown my mind. 4 billion years ago. What? The Earth's only existed for what? 5,000? Something?
6,000 if you go
6,000
into-
years? What are you talking about? What is this confounded science
Have you
rubbish?
been evangelicized in the last week?
I have, I'm afraid.
You've been watching the Gospel Channel.
I've changed my name as well.
He's been blessed.
Do you know Jesus?
Well, thank you. I
Have you changed your name to
Jesus.
David Koresh?
A little bit. that 2-week episode, man, it just filled me with something that I never thought I'd get.
I wondered why you'd
terrorism.
moved to that remote compound out in the Shropshire countryside.
Oh, shit.
With his good.
I love taking the mickey out of religion. Each to their own.
Now, Mars and Earth formed from the same materials and looked very similar. Both are terrestrial planets, with a central core, a rocky mantle, and a solid crust. Early on, we know that Mars once had lakes, streams, and perhaps even a northern ocean. Ooh.
Very northern.
How do we know it was northern?
Well, he told it and glass it unless he got a guy at the face.
Imagine that, all the sea being on one side of the planet.
Well, it's still got to tip over.
I know it's still going to rotate and whatnot. I'm just saying that, loads of,
Maybe that
Real
ocean
estate.
fed all the little other lakes and everything.
Well, there's a lot of speculation. It used to be quite similar to Earth.
A lot of speculation.
who's to say that it didn't just go outside the Goldilocks zone?
I was thinking more on the lines of maybe a potential nuclear war from advanced civilization.
Could be.
You could go down that route, couldn't it? Because you could say
Ben would
it
go
was.
down that
You could say it was almost like Earth. It could have been a similar kind of planet because let's face it,
Not too far apart.
with
Same sort of area.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Who's to
yeah.
say that a few billion years ago it didn't have a very similar atmosphere to what we've got.
I think it's possible,
And
yeah.
well, this is what a lot
But
of
because
scientists
Mars was
thought.
small, it couldn't hold it.
Yeah.
Didn't have the gravity to hold the atmosphere.
The core, the magnetic field.
and
How much
that
more-
stopped spinning inside, so there was no geological activity. It lost its atmosphere.
Lost its magnetic field.
So
Yeah.
potentially it was smaller, so everything was sped up in a sense. So like it took us millions of years to evolve, develop, whatever. It took them a few 100,000 years to evolve and develop, maybe because smaller things
Well, when
tend
they had
to.
when they had the
Dunno.
water and that, and the atmosphere was 1 billion years ago. We weren't even a twinkling in the eye of
The milkman's eye.
yeah.
The universe is nutsack.
Yeah.
God wasn't even thinking about our planet at that point, was he?
No, he was too busy with the
Let's
Martians.
start with God bullshit. Mike, how much smaller is Mars than Earth?
It's a good question. I
I
don't
think
know.
it's about the
I think-
sixth
I believe.
size,
I
isn't
think
it?
a third, about a
Is it
third of the
third?
size.
Is that it? I know it's not.
You're a fact finder, Pete.
It's not hugely smaller, but yeah.
Yeah.
But still, good question.
I'll find that.
Gin fueled Claire.
Yeah, I'm feeling it, honestly. It's affecting my frontal lobe. It's like it's just seeped in through
No,
my
it's only,
mouth.
it's only about half the size.
Oh,
of
half the
Earth.
size.
About half the size of Earth. There you go.
So I've been up to my neck and eyeballs in faces on Mars, you know.
So it's got a
You're
radius.
proper in for it now.
I am, yeah.
It's got a
You've looked
radius of. Sorry.
Sorry, he's looked at that many web pages now that supports it that he's on board.
I might be.
Its radius is 2,100 miles,
Well,
3,400 kilometres.
I could trek that
In a day!
in a day. So yeah, Mars, it's Earth's twin, really, let's face it. Or it could have been.
Same with Venus.
Little brother. I don't know about twin.
Alright. Annoying little brother. Venus as well. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're to believe the Valiant Thor, the man who came to Earth, we did an episode on Valiant
We
Thor,
did.
didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from Venus.
I ain't living on Venus. It's too close to the sun.
He lived inside Venus.
Well, at one point they again thought it was a bit like Earth, but it had a runaway greenhouse effect.
It's gonna be that close, isn't it? It's just gonna, on a cloudy morning when the sun burns off the clouds and makes them evaporate. You know, that's Venus, isn't it? It's so close.
So it's
Mercury's the
methane.
one that's dead
closest,
close,
yeah.
yeah.
Isn't,
But
isn't
you know.
like Venus just methane though? Like methane clouds and acid rain.
Yep.
Pretty much.
CO2 as well, innit?
That'll put a crimp on your day. So Mars, yeah. There you go. Did Mars look like Earth? Yeah, it did. A very, very long time ago.
I think they had dinosaurs.
Wouldn't it be cool if they did? Or were we the only ones that had dinosaurs? And the comet that wiped them out was the escape pod from Mars.
That's a bit far fetched.
Told you, I've been up to my neck and fucking ears in this.
Oh my god, if that isn't a conspiracy. No.
Yeah.
Is
Fuck
it?
off.
Anything you can think of is a conspiracy, Claire. You know,
Isn't
you know
it?
that.
Like, well, we could just make one up now, couldn't we?
The first, it was the escape pod containing Adam and Eve, so there we go, we're tying Pete's Bible studies.
There you go then.
Is that what's
Boom.
happening, Pete?
Yeah. So God is a Martian then?
Strictly speaking, I guess so.
I'd love to say I was a Martian.
Well, I have often wondered.
It sounds cool, doesn't it?
Was that a picture of supposed ancient Mars?
Look, see all the seas on one side, and then it's got like one big island where all the rich
Yeah.
people live. It's
Yeah.
surrounded by the water.
That's what they think. They don't know for certain. But yeah.
The only way they'll ever find out really is by getting proper landings on Mars and probe the shit out of it.
Wow.
Well, that's what we've been doing.
Digging it.
Well,
I'm glad you
proper-
said that because it's a good segue.
Proper, like, do some real excavating in it.
These are the three pieces of evidence that might point to life that
Yeah.
we found by probing Mars.
The first compelling piece of evidence came from the instruments on board NASA's Mars Viking landers in 1976. There were 3 biology experiments performed: a gas exchange experiment, a labelled release experiment, and a pyrolytic release experiment followed up by a gas chromatograph mass spectrometer experiment, and that all sounds very fucking Star Trek.
We all know what that means.
Just get the mass spectrometer out and do a pyrolytic release experiment, would you?
Is that what
Spock?
you do on your day off?
If I was on the Starship Enterprise, I'd probably say something like that.
Yeah.
The labelled release experiment yielded a positive result when performed on both Viking landers. But only the first time the test occurred. All other experiments came back negative. It had a positive result.
It did.
Positive result
For life.
For life.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All these things measured if there was any
Carbon, like what are they looking
We'd be talking
for?
about microbial, wouldn't we?
building blocks of life, I think.
Right, any kind of genetic material of some
It'd be carbons,
Anything
proteins,
mould.
strains of
Yeah.
proteins,
Amino
things like
acids and
that.
that sort of thing. And,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
so obviously they thought, wow, there was life on Mars, and then they did it again, and unfortunately it came out negative. But it doesn't mean that the first results.
We're wrong.
Well,
It-
NASA...
Maybe afterwards it contaminated it somehow, or did something to it.
Unless
They're digging in the wrong spot.
NASA, never a straight answer. First result came back positive and they thought, oh, we can't have that. Boom, fake the next few results, they're all negative, that was a freak result. Wouldn't be the first time in this scenario with a life on Mars question that NASA has completely covered the truth up, in my opinion.
There's some footage I saw not long ago of supposed the buggy or whatever it's called on Mars.
Mose rather.
Mose rather?
Mose rather.
What's a Mose rather?
It's the Mars rover.
That's it. Exactly what it was.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, the Mars rover.
I've got.
Oh dear, maybe it was a
See,
mistake.
maybe it was a mistake asking me to have a few shots of gin.
Nah, bring it on, keep it coming.
I've got all red face. Right.
The point is, the Viking lander detected life. And technically, none of those tests are there to specifically test for life, but it still picked it up. When asked the question, why didn't you have a test on there for finding life, or potential life, or ancient life, NASA just kind of shrugged their shoulders and went, meh.
Did they?
Yeah, pretty much.
See, I'm not sure.
Didn't think it was a possibility, so never thought they'd test for it.
I'm not sure on the validity of what I saw not so long back, but it was pictures from the Mars rover, and it was of like some kind of like rocky, hilly, mountainy thing. And then there was another picture next to it this was taken in Tahiti or whatever, and it is exactly.
Would it be? Are you
exactly
thinking
the
of
same.
Canada by any chance?
I really
Because
don't know.
NASA does a lot of training in Canada, and there is some suggestions that the pictures of Mars are actually identical to the place where NASA does its training.
All they've done is like sepia'd up the fucking.
Well, this is the other thing, you see. Sorry, we are getting ahead, but as Pete brings it up, it's more relevant.
Yeah.
NASA has applied at least 14 Photoshop filters to pictures of Mars. The Martian sky is not red, it is a dark blue.
Why do they?
It's the same sky as what.
Because
we
it's
see.
called the Red Planet, and we think there's a mark. They're like, oh, let's make it more red. I don't know what the answer is to that. I don't know why they would do it.
But it's whether or not the validity to those pictures I saw. But if they are real, then they're 100% pictures in this fucking on this Earth, not in Mars. So it goes back to your point of saying they cover shit up. They make stuff up. NASA do. They're renowned for it. So you don't know, do you?
Go on, Mike. I know what you're going to say. What about the NASA badge? Tell us.
We're always a bit suspicious of NASA, aren't we, Mike?
What does the NASA badge mean?
Well, it looks like a forked tongue, doesn't it?
It's meant to be the rocket's twin tails going up into space, but it looks like a forked tongue reaching down to Earth. And Mike's a massive believer in that. In that it is the reptilian
I just think it's funny.
tongue.
Aren't they like the arch nemesis of Jedi? Is that what it is?
That's the Sith.
But are they the Sith? Is this why there's a...
No, Sith can be any race,
Such an
guys. You just got to
aversion.
follow the dark side of the Force.
Well, maybe they just really like the dark side.
Maybe. The second piece of evidence came when a fragment of a Martian meteorite called Allen Hills 84001 was recovered on December 27th, 1984. God, such a catchy name.
They're really good at naming
Yeah.
these things, aren't they? Doesn't sound very like Martian alien, does it? They should have called it like
Maybe.
That
Yeah,
would
but
have
then
been
you've got
more
to pronounce that
convincing.
every time. On
Yeah, there's that. It's got it Mars Rock 72 or
I think
whatever.
it's named, obviously, I assume, after the person that found
I'm
it.
guessing so, yeah.
It's like stars, isn't it?
As it turns out, approximately 3% of all meteorites that fall to Earth originate from Mars. Bits have been blasted off.
By, say, like
Another bigger meteorite, you know.
Yeah.
This one was particularly large, nearly 2 kilograms, over 4 pounds heavy. It originally formed on Mars some 4 billion years ago and landed on Earth only some 13,000 years ago. When we looked inside of it in 1996, it appears to contain material that could be the remnants of fossilised organic life forms, although they could have arisen from inorganic processes as well.
You must remember this when it happened. Do you remember?
Over in Moscow, in
No.
Russia, are you talking about?
No, it was President Clinton, wasn't it, at the time? Said that he did a press conference saying that they may have found life, a meteorite from Mars.
Right.
Yeah, in 1996.
Is that when it was?
I think,
I
yeah.
was too
Yeah,
busy
in
trying to get
1996,
my
yeah.
end away to have been worried about the news at that point.
You were 12?
What? When?
You were 12?
96, 97.
96? You were what?
I was 14. I was 14.
Were you? Thought you were born in 83.
No, I was
82.
83.
Okay, he's 83.
I was 14, man. I was full of... Mate, 14,
He was young, dumb and full of cum at that point.
Precisely. Trying my hardest to get my end away with. I'm not saying it
So
worked.
you weren't looking out at the news on Mars?
No, definitely not. I was chasing tail, mate. Chasing as the operative word. Not ever catching, just chasing, but...
Well, big if true, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Allen Hills meteorite.
Just going to try and get an image for us.
Again, like, you know, all the soft disclosure bullshit, I wonder if that was just something they're keeping hidden a bit, kind of hushing it back a little bit because they thought, no, we'll scare everyone, let's just shut up about it now. Oh, it never happened, or, you know what I mean?
96, it's an interesting one. Clinton was notoriously UFO friendly.
Of course he is, his wife's a fucking alien.
I remember him saying in a press conference, like, he got asked a question by a kid, like, did anything crash at Roswell? And he's like, well, no one's ever told me, and if it did, I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, and he promised to release all sorts of files, and that never happened.
They're good at making promises that never come to fruition,
These
aren't
politicians, aren't they?
Yeah,
what we looking
not
at?
like me.
they? These are the supposed...
Worm segment,
Yeah.
like, thing. That's what they think.
Very typical, like your bacteria and things that we have on
It's
our, in our country.
under a microscope, obviously. It's not that big. It's not just
Our
gonna...
world.
Are we still talking about the worm?
Yeah.
It's. I think it's. I'm not beyond the whole thing. There might have been life on Mars, you know.
You'd be fucking silly to think we're the only ones that have life anywhere, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
I
pretty
would, yeah.
fucking obvious that there's many other planets out there with life.
Life's
Who's
such
just with the environment we've got, how close that is, I'm
No.
pretty sure.
not necessarily humans. Life is a broad spectrum, isn't it?
100%. Plants, just plant vegetation. is
Protein
life.
strands. Hang on. If I don't say it, I'm gonna feel bad. Life finds a way.
Always finds a way.
It's right. All you need is those couple of things.
It's a single-celled organism.
Exactly.
Amoebas. And
Get an amoeba. It's life.
Those
Boom.
couple of chemical reactions.
Unfortunately, though, it took a long time for life to occur on this planet, and we still don't know how or why it did.
No.
Well, you know, Pete. He was God.
Well, I can't divulge such information. It would literally everyone's mind.
Is evangelical Pete gone?
I'm afraid so. He lasted about 4 minutes, and then he realised what bullshit it was. I think that's the first time in my life I've ever spoken about myself in the third person. It did not feel comfortable.
I love it.
I felt like a right cunt. Sorry if you don't like that word.
Ben loves it. The third piece of evidence came out with NASA's latest Mars rover, Curiosity. As the seasons changed on Mars, Curiosity detected burps of methane emitted from specific underground locations, but only at the end of a Martian winter and with the onset of spring. This is, again, an ambiguous signal at best, as inorganic geochemical processes could be seasonal and result in the release of methane, but organic biological processes could cause this as well.
That makes sense, doesn't it? As it rotates the sun and gets hotter at certain points, it might cause these geological,
Yeah, it heats up, the methane gets released.
Or it could be life, and it could sort of hibernate during the winter and come back to life during the spring.
And fart lots.
It's held all its farts in over the winter and then releases them all in one glorious gas. Man, that'd be hilarious. You want to be on the surface, would you?
A Mars bear wakes up and farts.
I think you're looking at life in a different aspect, Pete.
I am, you're right. I want to see green furry bears.
Why is it going to be green?
Because they're Martian!
It's going to be red if they're Martian.
You telling me the little green men aren't from Mars?
Wow.
Come on now!
The white guys, the white sort of, faces are from the old moon, aren't they?
We all know from when we were kids, Martians were little green men with little ray guns.
Well, I remember there being tripods.
It depends whether you're watching the Flintstones or War of the Worlds.
That's true. Yeah, valid point. When we look at the full suite of evidence and everything we've learned about Mars, there are 5 possibilities of the history of life on the red planet. It could be an eternally barren world. It could be a world where life thrived for a time but then hit a dead end. It could have extant life on it today. It could have been seeded by Earth life early on, or it could have only have Earth-based organisms that made their way there since the dawn of the space age.
There are some pretty big craters.
There are. So here's what all of them mean. So Mars never had life on it. Despite having the same raw ingredients as early Earth and similar water conditions, the necessary circumstances that enable life to form simply never occurred on Mars.
How do we know that though?
No, that's one of the options.
Yeah.
It's one of the options.
We don't know for certain this is a problem, we're speculating.
Yeah.
So it had all the gunk, had all the primordial soup, but that
Nothing
little
happened.
spark, God never occurred, Pete.
Right.
Really?
Bloody hell, no.
He definitely didn't.
No. Number 2, Mars had life early on, but it died out. This scenario, in many ways, is just as compelling as the prior one, and it's very easy to imagine that a world with a thick atmosphere similar to early Earth's, stable liquid water, continents with rich geological diversity, volcanoes, a magnetic field, a day similar in length to our own, and temperatures only marginally cooler than Earth's today, could lead to life. Makes sense, doesn't it?
See, yeah, I think, to me, that all adds up.
Why would it be cooler when it was a little bit closer to the sun?
It's further away.
It's fair.
Oh, sorry, it's the other
It's
side.
the
of it,
next
isn't
one
it?
away,
Yeah.
isn't it? Third rock from the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're the third rock.
Sorry, fourth rock from the sun. I was thinking third rock from the sun is us, yeah. It's fourth, yeah.
However, the loss of the Martian atmosphere had a profound effect on the planet and could have resulted in the extinction of all life on Mars, which it would. If the atmosphere tends to go away, it tends to kill everything, doesn't it? Number 3, Mars had early life and it still persists in a mostly dormant form beneath the surface. This is the most optimistic but still scientifically viable view of life on Mars. Perhaps life took early hold on, and when Mars lost its atmosphere, a few extremophiles remained in a sort of frozen, suspended animation state. So, like them little things that live in the basin of volcanoes where there's lava,
Yeah.
or deep in the Arctic core.
Not extremely bad paedophiles.
No, actually, no. No, extremophiles are definitely not bad, extremely bad paedophiles.
Frozen under the fucking
surface
of Mars.
Oh god, when global warming kicks in, we're going to be overrun by a race of extreme paedophiles who won't stop,
Megapedos.
who won't stop at anything.
A bunch of giant Jimmy Saviles.
Oh, just coming at us.
They're like 8-foot Jimmy Saviles.
Over and over. No! And we're just spunk spraying everywhere.
Oh,
Oh, it'd be terrible. Don't want that.
Set Hulk Hogan on him.
Oh, you got any racer hulks?
You're right.
When the right conditions emerge, perhaps underground where liquid water can occasionally flow, that life wakes up and begins performing its critical biological functions, presumably having a shit.
Is it in the Goldilocks zone, Mike? Mars?
Yeah.
Mate? Yeah.
It is within it. Like
So
I
it's
said,
not-
it's only a couple of degrees less than us.
Because I was thinking.
Yeah, Venus, Earth and Mars are, yeah.
I was thinking maybe, you know, it did have an atmosphere. It was too cold, so it all fucked off. And then, like, now it's in the Goldilocks zone. It's preparing, you know, its life, and it might bloom again, and then produce its own atmosphere.
How long does it take to get to Mars?
Because
Between-
an atmosphere is produced by everything that's on the planet, isn't it?
Yeah, either through geological processes or biological.
So it's, you know, if it's been in the Goldilocks zone for quite some
But it's
time.
inactive. That's the trouble now. So it's not gonna. It used to have volcanoes and everything spewing methane and CO2 into the air, but now because it's dead, geologically dead.
Yeah.
There's no activity. It hasn't got a spinning core. It's got no.
And when the core stops spinning, you lose your magnetic field,
Yeah.
so your atmosphere gets stripped away easier.
So it's never going to have life again, is it really?
Not unless there's some kind of atmosphere. Oh, there's a race of people below the. Unless, and of course, NASA aren't telling us the truth.
Well, this is what I was kind of getting at. How long does it take to get to Mars? Is it like 16 years or something?
It's
No,
different.
it
It's
depends on
different,
where
isn't it?
Mars is. Most Mars missions are launched when it's closest to Earth, so it's about 3 months.
Right.
But at
okay.
the outer extreme of Mars orbit, it's like a couple of years.
Right. So.
See, I remember in the 80s, mate, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I remember reading as a kid that NASA were planning a mission to Mars. They were going to get like 5 Saturn V rockets, strap them together, some kind of shuttle, and it was going to take 3 months there and like 8 months back or something daft like that. They would say a few days, a week or so, something like that. And Buzz Aldrin was going to be in charge of it.
I thought it took years to get to Mars.
No, you only launch a planet when it's closest to you.
Yeah.
So when it swings by Earth, it's only a 3-month trip.
Yeah.
And you also remember, you're aiming for where the planet's going to be.
Yeah.
It's amazing, really, how they do it.
So, why haven't we tried to actually send like a what's the word I'm looking
Manned
for?
crew?
Well,
yeah,
some
like
people-
a proper crew to go and try and live there.
Well, that's
Some
what
people will
Elon
say
Musk-
that we are already there.
We know, like the film The Martian.
Yeah, Elon Musk is thinking about it, isn't he?
He wants
Boring,
to.
that film.
And
I kind of
NASA
enjoyed
are
it.
working towards it now.
But I'm thinking like on the style of The Martian, yeah? So
Yeah.
you go and put a little colony up there, that's the word I was looking for, colonising. We're good at that, us English.
Doesn't he go a bit crazy?
That's the trouble, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It's
it's
isolation.
isolation on your own.
And it's like a one-way ticket, isn't it?
But we surely we're not far away from being able to create a spacecraft that can make a return journey off its own kind of steam. Do you know what I mean? That can lift off and fucking land just
Yeah,
like
we
an
did it-
aeroplane can.
Well, we did it on the moon, didn't we? We landed and we took off again.
I personally, Pete, I think we have that technology. Right? We could do it if we wanted to. And that's not even with like us saying, oh, we got alien tech.
No.
We could create a Mars lander that would rendezvous with a craft that's orbiting the mothership as it would.
Yeah.
Like, just like the moon landing.
Just a space station.
You know, and you just
essentially.
pop something down, have a little trot about, get back in and fuck off.
Yeah, and this goes back to what Claire said. Although it's unlikely Mars will ever have life again, naturally, we could put life onto Mars
We
and
could create
kickstart
it,
it.
couldn't we? Yeah. Well,
There's
that's
ways
what-
of doing it. I think you can do it with algae.
Well, that's what I'm getting
There you
at,
go.
right? So, I genuinely think before long we'll fucking try and do that.
Yeah, more than
We have to.
As our fucking saviour of the human race, in a sense, like to be able to go and live there and move out a little bit to. Because
Look, it ain't gonna be like-
going.
You know, you say just go out there and live there. It's not the same as Earth. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, clearly, but
Not until you can get an Earth-like
We
atmosphere.
can't
going.
survive outside our suits.
no. But there's ways and means, yeah. Big fucking buildings that are airtight.
Well, you've got
airlocked,
it's total
etc.
recall, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And then we find a mountain with alien technology in it.
Oh, that should be so. That'll be simple
And a
enough.
little dude with another head in his belly.
Yeah.
And he'll tell us what to do. We'll be like, oh, sweet, cheers,
Yeah.
mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. I'm not your buddy guy. Open your mind.
No, you're right. And to be fair, the only way the human race, and I, as a humanist, I like this. We have to get out there and start colonising other planets. Because if we don't, if we're all on one planet, that increases the risk of species extinction.
It does, yeah.
No, I don't want to see that. I'm a member of the human race and I quite like it. Call it favouritism, if you will. Yeah. We have our bad points, we have our good points.
I don't know, is it good that we're going to survive?
Yes!
Species.
Yes, because we're part of that species.
And our children are part of that species.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
their children will be part of the species.
Our families and friends are part of that species.
We're highly destructive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have our, like I say, we have our plus sides, we have our downsides.
Only send the nice people to the new planet. Leave all the wankers here. Done.
But that's what we've got to get out there, otherwise we will cease to exist as a species, whether that's through destroying the Earth through climate change or stripping it of its natural resources. Asteroid, nuclear war. Take your pick.
The sun.
The sun's
definitely going to swallow the Earth.
Yeah, but that's not for like 40 million years.
No, it's 4 billion actually.
4 billion years, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We haven't got to worry about that. That's a their generation problem.
Yeah, that's so their generation, and we've only got to think about asteroids coming in our lifetime.
Well, that's it. 'Cause Bruce Willis ain't gonna get up there anymore.
Pardon?
Bruce Willis ain't getting up there no more.
No.
Even if they do tell us, we might not believe them.
That's so true. Don't look up.
Yeah, we'll be like, fuck you.
Maybe Bruce Willis will. Maybe it'll be his final fucking.
I don't know. He's pretty ill at the minute.
I know, yeah.
Fire this Alzheimer's guy into the sky.
Just make sure he's got.
I don't want him. I don't want some dude with like a variety of Alzheimer's, like waiting to push the button.
Just make sure he's got a note.
Because what if he gets where he is, takes his helmet off, his head explodes?
Just make sure he's got notes, like little post-it notes all over the place that remind him of what's going on, so he can never not realise what's happening. Like. He's got a post-it note.
We'd have to put so many post-it notes inside his helmet. You'll be able to see.
Do not remove, it will explode.
It'd be like he was wearing some kind of spacesuit burqa. He just had a little eye slit and he was having post-it notes on the inside.
That's fine, as long as he's got...
Look, he's just... Let the guy rest.
Send someone else.
Send someone... Ben Affleck's available. He was number 2 on that mission. Send him.
No, he fucking wasn't. Ben Affleck was nowhere near that.
He ran the second team. He did.
Yeah, he was about 12 when he did it.
Ben Affleck was in that film, yeah.
No way.
Alright, moving from away from home again. Mars didn't have life until Earth seeded it naturally. 65 million years ago, R.I.P. the dinosaurs, a very large, fast-moving body impacted Earth, creating the Chicxulub crater and kicking up enough material to blanket the Earth in a cloud of debris, leading to the 5th great mass extinction in Earth's history.
5th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been more.
Yeah.
Before? 4 more.
4 more.
Yeah.
Some say we're in the 6th.
There was one called the Great Dying. I think it was like 92% of all life on Earth.
The Great Dying.
So what was before the dinosaurs then? What?
Just plants and shit.
You had the first fish that climbed out of the water.
Amphibians, you had insects.
Well, I know that, but...
That bastard fish
lizards
that climbed out of the water, and as a result I have to go to work 5 days a week.
Have you not seen
Yeah,
that?
but they got killed and then the next thing came through. Well,
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying...
Yeah, have you
I
not
didn't
seen Fat
realise.
Boy Slim video?
That's the best way to explain it.
There we go, that's it.
Yeah.
Fat Boy Slim.
Or Do the Evolution by Pearl Jam, watch that
Yeah.
video.
Great video.
Yeah.
Need we say more? Let's move on.
No, I just didn't know there was like more life-killing meteors than...
We always
No, it
just
wasn't.
focus on the one that
The
kills
big
the
one,
dinosaurs.
yeah.
No, the others weren't meteorites, I don't think.
It's the Big Bang, isn't it? That's the only one we concentrate on, yeah?
No,
Not the Big Bang.
The Great Dying, I think, was from volcanoes.
Yeah, there was like, all the volcanoes started kicking off and
Yeah.
blanketed the earth in a load of ash.
Okay, so what survived then from that? Like, do you know, that's what I'm trying to work out. Like, what survived with that?
Cockroaches and a bit of moss.
Yeah, your little microbial bits are still kicking around.
That's
Something
a
will
few-
something will always survive. Life finds a way. We know this.
Fish.
What I'm wondering is,
Fish.
you know how we've seen the cycle of life throughout our science lessons and things like that. So you get the amoeba that turns into the double cell, blah blah blah.
It's very
turns into a
simplistic,
little
yeah,
fucking
but
bacteria, then that turns into a fucking fish frog, whatever. Yeah.
most of the tree of life is dead ends.
Well, I'm wondering.
That's
like,
true enough, yeah.
what I'm wondering is, you know, these like the great killings or whatever you called it, yeah.
The great dying. There was no one doing the killing.
Was there?
Unless it was you.
You in that fucking time machine in the UK? Peter sponsor of the 5th great extinctions on the planet.
Oh,
Gee,
stop
it
spoiling
it
it.
wasn't the dinosaurs. He
He wanted the dinosaurs, so he killed all the life off.
Spoiler alert!
And then there's that time that you took the AK back as well, isn't it?
That's what I'm on about, yeah.
that was to conquer the Egyptians, so
I
wasn't
know,
it?
yeah, fucking hell, Pete.
But my point was,
At least share this technology.
Take us to your time machine.
Well, let him make his point.
Was there like bigger animals that we don't know about because they got completely wiped out by like this fucking volcanic eruption that completely covered every life form within the world? Was there something big before dinosaurs that we don't know because there is no evidence of it?
Well, we've got no fossil records of them, so at the minute we have to say no.
Yeah.
But
But
you know what I mean?
until we do, there's
wonder
possibilities. I mean, like, you know, Gigantopithecus, that big giant ape. There was another giant sloth as well,
Yeah.
which looks so cute.
There were giant pigs called Terminator pigs.
Did this
And there were giant birds called terror birds.
terror birds?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking metal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's take them to download.
So impacts go the other way. So Earth-borne material could have been sent out to Mars and seeded it with life.
So when like one of our big things happened and a big chunk of Earth
Yeah.
blew up.
When
and
you detonated
off.
that nuke in central Mexico 65 million years ago to kill the dinosaurs,
Right, got you.
it would have projected Earth out.
Bugger.
Bits of
Oh,
Earth
to
out.
Mars.
I didn't foresee
Mars.
that. I did not foresee that.
Fuck's sake, Pete.
So it's actually me that wiped out the life on Mars as well.
No, you seeded the life on Mars
You seeded it?
accidentally.
Seeded it.
Right.
Recently.
So
But it died out on its own.
So I'm Mars' god.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Potentially.
That'll do. Obviously, this is only when I get my time machine when they've been invented. Obviously.
You seem to be pretty into it now. I think you've got the tech. I don't know. Right, our modern space program spread Earth-based life to Mars. As it, well, stuff goes up there. It can
Try
take
and-
things with it.
We try and keep it
We do try, but
clean.
Sterile.
But, yeah, sterile. But yeah.
If you're scooping up a little cup of whatever's on the ground, you know, with your little Mars rover, taking that bit and testing that, surely it won't fuck it up.
There's no other contamination,
No.
surely.
No, but say someone's got the flu and they
Sneezes
sneeze
the
on
Mars
it before it
rover.
goes out
yeah.
and it isn't properly sterilised.
I can't imagine they'd
Goes to
have the
Mars.
flu though. Oh, I see
You
what
wouldn't be
you're saying,
allowed on it on the
yeah.
shuttle with the flu because
You wouldn't be allowed to build the fucking thing with the flu.
I wouldn't. That's what I mean. I wouldn't have thought they're
you are
fucking
100%
protocols.
healthy when you get on that
Or there's a
shuttle.
tiny speck of soil with a tiny
Yeah. But I
tiny
bet
microbes in it.
their protocols are
All
so
it takes is
fucking
one.
tight.
I know they are.
I've worked in a few factories around here, Celestica for one.
Hmm.
I guarantee you now, there was never a fucking speck of dust in that place. I shit
Just takes
you not.
one, doesn't it?
Massive factory, but the way it was so. But that was just that. That was just a few.
You just have to
little
strip
fucking-
down and decontaminate yourself at the end of your shift.
Not far off, mate.
Even
genuinely.
when you buy bleach and stuff and the cleaners, it says it kills 99.99%.
Yeah.
So you can't get the 100%.
There you go.
I know what you mean.
Maybe it dies in the vacuum of space. Maybe it survives and lands on Mars, and we've inadvertently seeded it with life. If it could survive on there.
It'd be a fucking long shot that though. With
Yeah.
a 3-4 month journey, being out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's, remember, it's in the shuttle hold as well, which is, you know, that's oxygenated. It's all right.
You think of the absolute temperatures it would see. You'd get absolute freezing, like minus hundreds of degrees, and you'd also get plus hundreds of degrees from like rocket fuel, things like that, because it's only.
Yeah, but the inside of the shuttle is shielded from that, isn't it? It might get a little hotter, but
Depends
you're
where
going to
it's-
fry the astronauts inside.
I suppose it depends where.
Well,
it
heat
is,
shielding on the
yeah.
bottom, haven't you?
Yeah, depends where it is, where that whatever's managed to hide itself.
Yeah. Well, it'd be in the shuttle hold if it was anywhere. It'd be like a speck of microbial whatever on like the little digger arm of the probe. So as it reaches into the Martian soil, that's potentially a little microbe.
It's a lot to think about when you try and think about the possibilities of how that could happen.
And let's just consider the people that work at NASA that want to sort of find, you know, that little bit of life. They're gonna try and rule out every, you know, sort of sanitary bacterial bit that would prove their science wrong, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they want to be known to have discovered this. Look, I've discovered this.
Well, we say that, you think that, but if that goes against NASA policy, as we're going to get into now, what if there are things on Mars that show signs of a civilization and they've covered it up? They don't want to tell the people there's life on Mars, or has been life on Mars.
This is why we're getting pictures of Canada instead of actual Mars, because the pictures of Mars that we
there's too much shit in there.
It might be fucking bustling fucking cities and flying saucers. Well, like, you know what I mean? A bit like what's
Fifth
the film?
Element.
Yeah, Fifth Element style. You never know,
Get your ass to Mars.
and that's why.
Total Recall.
Recall.
Well, they've doctored things in the past, haven't they?
Yeah,
Like, they
but-
even changed the photographs on Mars, yeah? They've got this orange tint, every one you see.
Yeah.
They put that in purposely.
Yeah, the
That
Martian
tint
sky's...
isn't there.
Yeah, the Martian sky's dark blue.
Yeah.
Because it's the red planet.
Because they want you to think, you know, Mars, red planet, yeah? What tint... Why do that? You're just opening yourself then up to...
Yeah.
What else have you doctored?
Yeah.
Clearly the global Earth.
Well, they even do that. There's evidence, you can see it, they've just copied and pasted clouds on it. And just to make
They
it...
admit to doing that.
Yeah.
They admit to doing that, yeah.
Why do it? Isn't the whole point of science to be everything to be true and not manipulated?
Then they stop live streams from the space station and stuff because certain things float into view.
You wonder why people don't trust them.
Yeah.
Never a straight answer.
It's because of the freaking reptilians.
No. Okay, so we've decided to split this into two parts. We thought we might have to do, to be fair.
Yeah. And there's a lot to delve into on
Next,
this one, isn't there?
yeah. Next week we bring you the conspiracy.
The crazy.
So it might be a
Conspiracy.
three-parter. There's a chance it could be a three-parter.
The conspiracy. The glorious, glorious Martian conspiracy. We bring you returning star Randy Kramer. We bring you Solar Warden. The return of Solar Warden.
I'm disappointed because I was hoping to hear from Randy Kramer tonight, but...
Well, returning friend of the show will return next week. But now, let's end the show on some fucked up facts.
Theme tune, please.
Facts, fucked up facts. Facts.
Facts!
In 2006, Croatian band Let 3, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of them.
No.
I haven't. Were fined for performing nude in public.
I don't see an issue.
I want to hear... Are they men? Women?
No idea.
If they're women, I want to hear about them. I want to see them.
You want to see them if they're meant to.
Not really.
No.
But their defence that they weren't naked because they had cork plugs in their anuses was not accepted by a judge.
Hang on, the Chili Peppers have performed with literally socks on their cocks before now.
In Croatia?
I don't think it wasn't in Croatia, but they have done it.
Or maybe there's a law specifically in Croatia that you can't.
Public nudity laws.
That Woodstock 99.
But then I've seen some very public nudity porn filmed in Croatia.
Have you?
Yes.
Very specific there.
That's
your search.
No, I just cropped with the some public fucking. It was filmed in Croatia. It said at the start of the video.
Fuck it, that's definitely been stored in his wank bank, clearly.
Well, I just remember it, you know. I'm all at the plot, Pete.
Oh dear.
From 1974 to 2003, the head of the Catholic Church in the Philippines was a cardinal sin.
Ooh, I like it.
When he had visitors, he greeted them with the words, "Welcome to the house of sin."
Oh, I love it.
That's cool, that is.
That's cool as fuck.
Cardinal sin.
Thing is, if your last name is Sin, you've got to be a priest, haven't you? You know, you've got to be. And you've got to rise as high as you can to get that, so you can be Cardinal Sin one day. Because it just sounds metal as fuck.
Yeah.
I am Cardinal Sin.
Welcome to the house of Sin. And then there's like Baphomets and flames and everything.
You would just have to talk like a fucking Mortal Kombat voiceover, wouldn't you? All the time.
Or you could do it like the old Hammer House of Horror, like, welcome to the house of Sin, kind of thing.
I'm surprised there's not a band called House of Sin.
I'd imagine there probably
There
is.
will be, I guarantee it.
There's got to be, and if there isn't, why not?
If
Someone
there
get
isn't,
on it.
Let's make one.
Someone get on it.
Beetles absorb water from the air through their bottoms.
What, so John Lennon really did talk out of his arse?
I knew you were going to say that.
I was waiting for a
No, I
joke,
genuinely knew you were going to say that. I've
Yeah.
That's a definite one. I've heard Richard Attenborough talk about that.
What, the John Lennon remark?
No, the fact that there's beetles that take moisture from the air through their anus.
No, well, it's, I mean, yeah, great. Good for them.
Yep. Keeps them hydrated. However it happens.
If only we could all do it.
The city of Regina,
Regina.
Canada, was forced to apologise after adopting the slogan "Show us your Regina."
That's brilliant.
The red material dropped from planes fighting forest fires acts both as a flame retardant and fertiliser to help new growth after fire is extinguished.
Ah, it's
That's
nice.
pretty cool, that
That's
is.
cool.
It's just a shame half of them are started by themselves anyway.
Well, it's natural. It's just a natural thing, isn't it?
No.
Unfortunately, the planet's heating up and it's becoming unnatural. It's happening all the time. But
That's where I was going with
Yeah.
it. Like,
That's why the Sasquatches are coming into closer human contact.
yeah, because they're going to start beating up all the humans for taking away all their habitat.
Yeah, possibly. Potentially.
You never know. That could be what wipes out the humans.
I don't think the
Or-
Sasquatches got in, we just nuke them.
All the Sasquatch are going to come out hiding and get you.
Yeah, we just airstrike them, wouldn't we?
No.
Napalm Squatch.
We'd have to. If that happened, if an army of Sasquatches emerged in the North American wilderness, they just napalm them, wouldn't they?
No, they're few and far between.
Or multi-dimensional. Either way.
a 2019 study has found humans can smell whether a person shares genetic similarities with them and are attracted to people with more genetic differences.
Genetic differences.
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, that kind of goes against other facts that have been announced over the years, that people are attracted to people with similar genetic properties.
More compatible.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's a strange one, isn't it?
yeah.
Just goes to show you that facts are only facts at the time they're a fact.
Every fact has a half-life. I didn't.
Well, it's an alternative fact.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Private jets fly higher than commercial ones. Did you know that?
I did not. Faster route, I'm guessing.
Stays
Higher
out
you
of
are,
there.
faster you go.
So they can avoid bad weather and give their passengers a smoother ride.
Oh, that's nice. Isn't it?
Cunts, they've even got their own fucking...
Even their own weather system down
They've
there.
got their own airstream.
Unbelievable, innit?
Yeah.
Damn Simon Cowell.
What,
They're
just
the best of fucking everything, even the fucking air. Jesus.
Yeah, and the private yacht and the private bar and everything on that. But there's a yacht plane, who knows?
Drops a yacht out.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
it would, wouldn't it?
That'd be really James Bond. Yeah, man.
And take this yacht everywhere. I'm assuming he's Russian. He'd have to be. Alright, Mike, what you got?
Usage of the word motherfucker in books is up about 700-fold since the 1950s.
I'm
Well,
not surprised.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Samuel L. Jackson for bringing that one in.
He does the best motherfuckers.
He
doesn't
does.
He does.
Children who have pets are less likely to have allergies.
Makes sense.
with the exception being hamster ownership,
Oh,
which
why?
appears to make nut allergies more likely.
Because they eat all the nuts.
God knows.
What's that got to do with it?
That's a strange one, isn't it?
Yep.
I don't know, but I did hear that hamsters might have started the Black Death. So maybe they, they're not as cute as you think.
Did that go on? Did that correct? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe they're not as cute and cuddly as you think.
Mm.
Maybe now they just toned it down, they're giving your kids allergies.
I can see it go.
Nah, that wasn't from my fight. He's speaking at the same time.
No, it wasn't.
In
I
teeth.
didn't
I
hear
tried
it.
to let it sneak out, but it didn't sneak.
Sneak
It
out.
didn't sneak. I thought it was a sneaker, but it was like, nope, this one's coming out.
Claire felt the sofa vibrate.
I think she did.
In 2006, Liechtenstein accidentally found 0.3% more of their country.
Found it?
Yeah.
Well, was it dead back of the sofa or something?
They remeasured their borders.
Alright. 0.3%, eh?
They need every bit, don't they?
Isn't that like what Israel and fucking thingy did? Like, remeasured their borders a bit. Like, oh no, it's actually bigger. No, it's not. Didn't that start like a whole fucking war?
It's been a bone of contention for quite a few years, yeah.
So it's just not why he's doing that. That's my point.
Just leave as is.
If what was is that going to make a difference to him? No. Just fucking leave as is, because you never know what might happen from it.
Well, that's just us Brits making lines where there probably shouldn't have been lines. We're good at that.
We'll finish on this one. Henning Brand, who discovered phosphorus in 1669, found it while boiling down gallons of urine to try and make gold.
Oh, he's an alchemist.
He is.
Instead he made explosives. Wonderful.
Wow.
Mad that, innit?
Mm-hmm.
It all comes from the piss. And on that note, let's end the show. Come back next week from Mars, Life on Mars Part 2, The Conspiracy. I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Don't drink the Flavour Aid. Don't join a cult.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
I've been Claire. Keep an open mind, not so open that the gin spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Hope you all have a nice week. Auf Wiedersehen.